You've been naughty, and you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Well, you absolute stinker! You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was. Hey, soldier. We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players.
You grace my stool. I'm honored.
Shah's blessings upon you.
You know, I've been thinking, and I think there's something I should tell you. Nothing big or terrible, just a small little detail about me that hasn't come up naturally. It's just that I happen to be a, what's the best way to put this? A vampire. Right. Well, glad we got that out the way. So, was there anything else? Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again. It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire. Yes and no. The problem is, once you're a vampire spawn, they completely control you. They have to allow you to bite them. And why would they do that? Vampires are power-hungry creatures. They won't lose a servant to create a competitor. Trust me, it doesn't happen. Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers, if we can convince the right people to talk.
The Blade of Frontiers in the guise of a devil. I'd remark on the irony, but I'd hate to waste the breath. Still, it took guts to defy that petty patron of his. The Blade's sting is real.
Gods damn her straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right.
and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. It's not unrelated. I wish I could tell you more. I can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mizora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mizora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That can't be. You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional. Tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods! I mean, yes. I suppose I can. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
Rag. Never summon Shovel, never feed Shovel, now call Shovel!
You recognize the tiny fiend, a quasit. wicked creatures often used as familiars.
Wait, you're not Illy? The blacksmith, the teacher, the grocer, the baker, little piggies to the butcher. So, you're Shovel's master now. Fine. And you, slab of beef with nipples, moo. Master Illy, wonderful. He tricks them, heals them, then they die. So sudden, so mysterious. Shovel comes, Shovel takes them, then we raise them, make them walk. Necromancer, your kind call him. Fun, I call him. Don't know, don't care. Wait, are you horny? For the book? Illy never shuts up. Book this, book that. Good with tongue. Good at cutting them out, too. Tell you secret. Illy weak. Illy never finish book. But master can do it. Read book, conquer book. Yes.
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. You haven't been using the parasite's power. You think you don't need it. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Halsin might be able to remove your tadpole. But he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Halsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. I have kept a careful watch on the movements of the cult. Though the Absolute's aims are not yet clear to me, its methods are. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you. I have powers of my own. Unique powers. But know that we are alike. Just like you, I was infected with a Mind Flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go. The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
This vessel is at thy disposal. This soul remembers its invective, but remembers not its tongue.
Though spoken with a different voice, you recognize the eloquent drawl of Withers, the wraith that summoned the hireling.
They are but echoes. They recall not a manner of speech. Thus, I lent them my rhetoric. To speak thusly takes little of my effort. Besides, what better use is there of time than discourse? Because you needed to speak to it. Because it feels correct. Fitting. These souls clawed their way back from the fugue plane for vengeance. The art of violence is one memory not lost to them, I assure you. Now, let us return to the fray. This vessel is at...
But the vessel only stares blankly. You'll need to make room in your party first.
This soul awaits thy command.
Whoever's reaching out to us truly does seem opposed to the Absolute, but wants us to embrace the tadpole. Venture right into the heart of the cult. Perhaps we truly have a secret protector. Or we're walking into a trap. It seems like you have ample company already. You'll need to figure out who you can live without before I can lead the way then.
Never a dull moment.
Stop. I was fine.
Your mother was a heartbeat away from fighting a bear.
Isn't that how Mum usually is?
Quiet, you pup.
My faith protects me.
Mind never quiet. Nothing hurts anymore.
I'm ready.
No one's stopped me yet. Breathe quiet. Move with care.
Know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, will remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay.
Your actions are...
Nothing hurts anymore. This vessel is at the...
But the vessel only stares blankly.
This soul... Can't give up now.
How many die today?
Stop.
How many die tomorrow?
I was fine.
My mother was a heartbeat away from fighting a bear.
Still alive. So that's progress. Is that blood? No, never mind.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
I have such a headache. No time to rest. All right, time to skulk about.
Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, oh, remind me of your grace. Faith, care, oh, love I can't repay.
A spasm grips your chest. Your strength falters. An emptiness grows within you, Paladin. Something has been lost.
Broken your oath, Paladin. At the close of day, I will be waiting for you. We have much to discuss.
Have a lot on my mind and, well, in it.
Hark! Hark! A camp, and Hogma willing. Some friendly faces. Well met. Goblins roughed me up and stole my hose when they heard me singing hatchling love. You wouldn't have half a bedroll for a lost minstrel, would you? I can pay for my board with music, if you care for it. I know. It's not the first time I've been robbed. I am only glad I didn't get hurt. Quill Grootslang. Soon to be published in the songbook Affairs in Ancient Abir, Songs of Draconic Love. If I make it to Baldur's Gate with my manuscript, that is. I'll just stay one night. Promise. Then I'll be gone. I know I'm Iceblood, but I get cold so fast. I need to be by the fire.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep. Just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Ta.
Welcome to the League of the Lone Eye, my friend. Not to minimize the pain of Volo's poking and prodding, but I promise, you'll be used to the prosthesis in no time. Besides, I find it gives one an air of mystique. No one's more intriguing than a man with one eye. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can. I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
Another dream. Another order from that dubious visitor. It announced that we will find the answers we seek in the Absolute Cultist's lair, and offered another generous gift. A persuasive creature. It tempts us with power, expresses its admiration, its adoration. Avert your eyes whenever it appears, and do not avail yourself of this new power, no matter how alluring. You've no idea what damage it could do to us, how far into illithid madness it could drag us. Battles are won with swords, not mind games born of brainworms. The ones we fight with these cultists will be no different. And there will come a battle, of that I'm most certain. The one truth that fell out of the dream figure's cankered lips.
I had another visit from that dream figure. I take it you did too. It claims that if we infiltrate the heart of the cult that's giving out these parasites, we'll find the answers we're looking for. It gave me another gift, too. Just like it did the first time it appeared. Rather generous, if you ask me. And while we're at it, we can see how many more of these little worms we can harvest. Now, was there anything else?
Another visit from the Golden Paladin. It said we'll get the answers we need about the tadpole if we infiltrate the cult. Indeed.
Thanks for the fire. I've been given a great chance. My song score, Affairs in Ancient Abir Songs of Draconic Love, is due to be published in the Gate. I'm in a big rush, though. I fear that if I don't get there in the next few days, they're gonna print some kobold bone flute instrumentals instead. It's a miracle I'm still alive. I prepared a dense manuscript of new love chants to be throat-sung in Timantha style. You probably don't know, but the Dragonborn clans arrange their children's marital unions. Love is considered irrelevant to egg duty. But I've never even been kissed. And I can't stop myself from dreaming. I don't think most of us stop hoping. Ever, really. Not even when duty stamps us down. And that's what the songbook's about. Lost, lingering love. Never acted on. Never spoken. My clan name has been struck. I named myself anew after a long-dead poet. Is there someone who you think you might love? Oh, come on. I won't tell. And have you said so? Do they know even one little bit of how you really feel? There's a special feeling to having love all to yourself, don't you think? For no one to know. I grew up smiling about my little secrets to myself. I would have been laughed at if I admitted to anyone how I felt. It is not our kind's way. But I have my whole life ahead of me. Things will be different now I'm on the Sword Coast. I can't wait for what is coming next. Oh my! Are you sure? Are you really sure? Spoken like someone who's never heard a dragonborn throat song. This one, Sky Swaying, is about what it might feel like to mate in the air, in the age where wings were yet with us. Oh, there are 69 more verses. I'm only just beginning.
What's on your mind?
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that scared girl who asked for nothing more than a night of shelter. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you, really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business? Something wicked must have woken you. The contemptible pervert within must have lavished slash after slash upon the girl. But where, oh where could that monster have come from? If only you knew yourself better. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you. A light and delicate girl. It should be no trouble at all to toss her into a ditch. You roll her away, further bloodying your hands as you do. In lumbering style, you have gotten away with murder.